Hi everyone! The term incomplete notation was coined by Henry Mishkin in the 1970s. Along with other types of incomplete notation, such as leaving cadenzas to be supplied by the performer and the use of notational shorthand, for example, to indicate the repetition of a single bar's content across several, the term also refers to a score or certain instruments' parts which are left incomplete, with the composer providing only a framework for further embellishment. This aspect of incomplete notation, which will be this video's focus, strengthens the view that the use of improvisation through many eras of classical music was widespread. While its use in partimento teaching is perhaps the most obvious example, many others may be found. The Sarabande from Handel's Suite No. 7 in G minor, for example, is sparsely notated, with some additions providing in smaller note values a realization of the two-part quarter note combinations. Along with these possible editorial additions, however, is the idea that the upper part should also be embellished using ornamentation common to Baroque vocal and instrument melodies. In this excerpt from a realization by Rudolf Steglitz, for example, the quarter note inner parts are not included, but the upper part provides interest and a sense of motion. In the first of his 6 organ concertos, Opus 4, Handel also in the original score provides here only the following two-part texture, which he explicitly indicates should be completed by the soloist. In publications, this section is typically realized with chords in the left hand and an embellished right hand. While the need for improvisation in this instance appears to be deliberate, in other works it's been suggested that the composer may have only sketched in certain ideas to be completed later, or possibly as an aid for themselves when performing. In other words, in these instances the score is incomplete because it isn't finished, as opposed to being deliberately left to be completed by the performer. This notion poses several dilemmas for modern performers, including when to know if a part has been left for embellishment or is as the composer intended, and to what extent should the part be embellished. In the first 22 bars of the slow movement from Mozart's Piano Concerto in C, K503, for example, the piano part consists only of left-hand notes, which follow the cellos and double basses. Whether Mozart intended this part to be completed or performed as written is uncertain. The piano part from the opening of the first movement from this keyboard concerto by Haydn also consists only of a left-hand part, doubling the cellos and basses. The addition of this part raises the same earlier questions, although the Baroque and Classical era tradition, where in the first movement of most concertos the instrument typically remains silent until its full entry, suggests Haydn's piano part shouldn't be embellished but should instead remain as an accompaniment. Once again, however, the correct interpretation is unclear. While composers' true intentions in leaving parts of scores incomplete may never be known, especially in examples such as those by Handel where a framework is supplied and the composer indicates that it should be completed, these types of scores may be a useful resource for those interested in including improvisation in modern classical music performance. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.